Hello, Kigali. Did you know that 500 million Africans must travel before they can get access to a medical doctor? And many of them will die even before they get the chance to speak to the doctor, including my own father. He had a heart attack in a town in Cameroon called Kumba. There was no cardiologist. Before we could get him to a cardiologist, he died on the way. Now, this got me so devastated, especially because he wanted me to be a medical doctor. But I wanted to be a DJ, you know. But this pushed me into resigning from my job at the time in order to teach myself how to code. And 2 years down the line, the result of that decision is Waspito. Now, Waspito is a platform that connects patients, providers, and payers online through a health social media. We are the only platform on earth that does instant video consultations with medical doctors. Now, what that means is there is no waiting time, no booking of appointment to talk to a doctor later. You get on Waspito now, you're talking to a doctor now. We also provide mobile labs and pharmacy services. And what that means is you stay where you are, the lab comes to you, the pharmacy comes to you as well. We are the best health social media on the continent because we have a platform where doctors post articles around preventive care and users can ask questions and get answers in real time. We also provide B2B SaaS to insurance and corporates where we give them access to our care network and with real-time visibility on claims and billing. Our business model is pretty straightforward. We operate Waspito as a marketplace for care services and we collect transaction fees per transaction. This ranges from 10 to 30% per transaction. We have scaled, we've iterated, we've improved efficiency to now a profitable business. With 1 million users, over 3 million interactions on the platform, $3.1 million in revenue last year, and on track to do $5 million this year. We've raised $6 million in seed round, and we plan to do a Series A of $10 million by the end of Q1 next year. And we already have a soft commitment from the World Bank of $5 million. We are present in Cameroon, Côte d'Ivoire, and very soon we'll make an entrance into Senegal and later on Rwanda. On my team, you'll find medical doctors, chartered accountants, software engineers, and business managers. Now, this team of excellent professionals form the core team driving health without a step in Africa. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Jean.
Good morning.
And congratulations for making it to the top 10.
Thank you.
Looks like Kigali is also very happy to have you here.
Yes, it's home. It's home from now.
Great. So I was looking at your deck last night when I was preparing for the session, and I was struck by one number. Your ownership in the business is only at 4%. It's still an early stage business. Why would you dilute your ownership to that extent when there's still so much growth ahead of you?
Okay, that's not accurate. Actually, right now, I own about 60% of the business. And 60. And then post-Series A, after the $10 million, the dilution would get me to about 41%.
Great. So I'm very happy to hear that because we all had that question. You know, what would a founder do here if he only owns 4% of the business?
Yeah. That's
now, my next question to you is, how do you differentiate Waspito from all, it's a buzzing area. We see a lot of founders working on a solution connecting patients to doctors online. So can you explain to us what is the main differentiator and competitive advantage of Waspito?
Okay, yeah. So with most telehealth platforms, you have user engagement of less than 3%, of active users monthly, right? But what we've done differently is to look at the context of Africa, making sure we don't just copy and paste what's happening in the West. What that means is, unfortunately, in Africa, we treat our bodies like we do our cars. It's the day that you're trying to start it and it doesn't take off that you're looking for the mechanic. So that's kind of how we handle our healthcare as well. When an African wants to see a doctor, it's almost urgent already. So what we did differently is there is no booking of appointment on Waspito. Once you go to the platform right now, you can talk to a doctor immediately. You will see a list of doctors who are available to do a consultation. You click, with a few clicks, you're already talking to a doctor on video call. And then the second thing that we did to say, hey, how many times do you fall sick in a year? Like 2 or 3 times, right? And then other platforms, you need them only when you're sick. But Waspito has gone the other route of creating a health social media. This means users are there in real time. A simple example is we created a group on the platform for sexual health. That group gathered about 100,000 users within the first 3 months of creation of that group. So this means users are already used to Waspito, and when they fall sick, one point in the year, they already know that Waspito is there and they can quickly go and consult a doctor.
Is your platform translated in many local languages? Because most of the times patients want to talk to a doctor in their local language. The other question is around digital awareness and literacy. Many people on the continent don't have that digital literacy. How do you expect these people to use your platform?
Okay, so in terms of languages, there's French, English, and we are working on Arabic right now in terms of the 3 main languages that will be on Waspito.
But these are not local languages?
Yes. So in terms of local languages, it's in terms of recruiting the doctors that are on the platform. So when we recruit doctors, for example, we're in Cameroon and Côte right now, we make sure we have doctors that speak all the local languages. So each time there is a requirement for a specific language, then we can get that doctor to talk to the patient. So for example, when you just go on the platform and you call any random doctor and it doesn't understand you, they'll reroute you to customer service and they'll make available the doctor that speaks your local language. In terms of literacy, now we see that many people in Africa already know how to use WhatsApp, right? So the app might be complicated for some people to download, navigate inside to be able to find a doctor. But now we've rolled out Waspito on WhatsApp as well, where you can just go there to a specific number and just type what you want or send a voice note on what you want, and the bot will assist you and guide you to get access to a doctor.
Hi, John.
Hi, Jerry.
Congratulations. I still want to know how you walked out of that video onto the stage with the same outfit. That was very cool.
Magic. It's magic.
So I think I understand the business. Again, I'm not from Africa, so a lot of this may be dumb, but the social media, you seem to have like a very strong social media presence that creates the attraction of users. And then on the other side, you are recruiting doctors for your network. And so I have basically 2 questions around user experience and such. One is how do you know that the match between the customer and the doctor is a good one? And to me, I think this is very good for some kinds of minor, or I don't want to say minor, but you know, health issues that could be addressed through teleconference or televideo. But how do you deal with the match? Meaning, do I see a new doctor every time? Can I ask for the same doctor? What if I don't like the guy or the woman? Do I hang up and try a new one? How does that user experience work? And then the second thing is, with regards to your cost structure, it seems like you do rely on marketing dollars. Your marketing dollars are going up over time as you have more revenue. How do you think about having the cost of acquisition, customer acquisition costs go down over time? What is the stickiness or retention mechanism? So the first one is on user experience. Second one, how do you keep the CAC small?
Okay, thank you, Jerry. So the user experience on Waspito, as we said, we have a health social media. Today, you have lots of users following doctors already that they like. These doctors are posting articles regularly on the platform. So any doctor that you like, you're already following that doctor, and that doctor would most likely be listed on your doctors when you try to do a consultation. So if you are not a user, you're not active on the platform, you don't have your best doctors already, you go to the platform, just choose doctors based on maybe your location, based on language. You will see the profile of the doctors before you start the consultation. So you have enough data to be able to make an informed decision on the doctor that you want to select. But even going to the worst case, call and then you don't like the doctor's voice, for example, right? Then you can politely say you would like to talk to another doctor. All the doctors on the platform, they are trained to understand that some users might have preferences. Now, if this happened, the doctors would just reroute your call to customer service, and then they will get to you to get more details and then get the appropriate doctor to talk to you. Now, to the second question, talking about marketing dollar, that was initially when we started Waspito. We want to make the world or Africa or the countries where we are know that we exist, right? But in terms of our customer acquisition costs, we've just found a new hack where we are partnering with insurance companies. So recently, after the announcement of our top 10, we have a major insurance company in Cameroon who is present in about 27 countries, wants us to partner with them to be able to give affordable consultations online to their clients. And this even reduces their claims around consultations. So they are capable of buying bundles. The first deal we had was a $200,000 deal where they buy family doctors for their users so they can use it unlimitedly for the whole year. So that will drive our customer acquisition costs very low, because when we go into new markets, we're going to hit the ground running because they already have thousands or hundreds of thousands of clients in these markets already.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Jane.
Thank you.
I'm actually half Cameroonian, so
And I'm half Nigerian.
Very interesting. So we're two of the same kind. Fantastic. Now, I'm fascinated because healthcare is a major issue. A lot of our people, and over the last 6 years, this is the 7th edition of ABH, we've had a number of health tech solutions that have won at different stages of the top 10. So I'm looking at your numbers, and because you defined the client that you're trying to reach, and if affordability, availability, and accessibility to healthcare is the factor. Consultation is $8. If I convert that, let's take Nigeria as a market.
Yes.
And I also know the disposable income level of Cameroon, and it's way below the Nigerian level. So if I take $8 and I translate that to 12,000 naira for a Nigerian, and the subscription is about $30, if I convert that as well, that becomes quite a substantial amount of money. And then you said in your lab test that you move the lab to the individuals. I'm trying to figure how you do that, because it seems like a more expensive approach to be able to move, and depending on the location of where the people live. And I know Cameroon a bit. I know where Kumba is. I imagine if it was my mother's village in Tinto, between Kumba and Tinto, even though they're not far, the road network doesn't make that easy.
Bad, yeah.
So if you're based in Kumba, how do you move your lab into Tinto to see a client there and solve the problem? And then when I think of $138 total cost for the market, this is still an affluent cost group. So I'm trying to understand who your target market really is.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'll start with the lab, the Tinto example, right? So what we've done in Waspito is we've been able to source providers from all over Cameroon.
Sorry, one more question.
Yes.
I'm wondering about 1,200 doctors. Where did you find them, and how did you get 1,200 doctors on your?
Okay, let me start with that. So in every country where we open up Waspito, we start with a partnership with a medical council. So we go and pitch Waspito to the medical council where all the doctors are gathered. And then they will turn around and tell the doctors that this is a solution that can be helpful to you, and then we can be able to get them on board. And we have online trainings every Thursday for doctors who are interested. Those who just come naturally on the platform, we train doctors every Thursday. So that's how we get them. In terms of the Tinto's example, we've sourced providers from all over Cameroon. So there's a lab at most 30 minutes from every Cameroonian right now, in terms of clinics, labs, and pharmacies. So that's how we source it. And if you are in a place where there's a lab around you, within maximum 2 hours, the lab technician comes to you, collects a sample. That's what we mean by moving the lab. Just comes and collects a sample and sends you the results online. And now, even in big cities, it can be a challenge. And sometimes it's just a VIP kind of solution. Some people want to stay at home and get all the services. Most people still on the platform, about 60%, want to go themselves to the lab and want to go to the pharmacy that's nearby because they don't want to wait 1 or 2 hours. Meanwhile, they have pharmacy just nearby. Now, back to the costs. In terms of the cost per consultation, we did a mapping in terms of Cameroon. We are about 30% more affordable than the average consultation cost. So it makes more sense for a user, rather than pay a taxi or drive to a clinic to talk to a doctor, to just consult online. And then we have the family doctor package, which is less than the $30 you're talking about. This is a subscription for free generalist consultation for the whole year. So you don't have to pay each time $8 or $10, depending on the doctor you're trying to. So it's really affordable compared to the offline solutions that exist today in the markets of Cameroon and Côte d'Ivoire. And we will be coming into Nigeria. We'll do market survey, make sure the pricing is still interesting, the doctors have a good commission from that, and Waspito can continue to be sustainable with what they get from that.
Well, Nigeria has 371 different tongues.
Absolutely.
So when you say you want to make every doctor be able to speak to people in their local languages,
Absolutely.
I was just laughing because I know that it'd be a tall order to do that. So I'm wondering how you've planned to solve that.
Yeah, so today, offline, these people still have to see doctors, and doctors exist. There might be very few, but they do exist. So once we do our mapping, we see where each language is, we try to get doctors that can speak those languages. We try to convince these doctors that you can even see more patients online rather than have everybody come and queue up. So it's possible offline, so digitalizing that process will even make it easier. Our main challenge will be to convince these doctors who speak all these languages to be able to come on the platform. We've been able to do that in Cameroon, we've been able to do it in Côte d'Ivoire, I think we'll be able to do it in Nigeria as well, and hopefully Rwanda.
What is your revenue sharing formula?
Yeah, so today doctors get anywhere from 70% to about 85% per consultation.
Okay.
We get just the rest of that.